Boy, it's the weekend. Time for the North Carolina Vinyl Picker. And how are you all doing this great weekend? The weekend before Memorial Day weekend. I went to the races last night. Had a really good time watching some short track racing in Hickory, North Carolina. We had a fantastic evening. The channel I want you guys out there to and gals to sub up is the Utah Vinyl Connection. Kent's got a great show out there, and if you could sub him up, I would really appreciate it. And if you like the Old Goat, Stoner Stash Box, Dave the Pickup Artist, and the Happy Hippie, then I know you're going to like Kent. So yeah, Utah Vinyl Connection. So sub him up, and you'll have another great show to watch. I did get some pickups this week, and I went over to Asheville, and was able to pick up some stuff over there. A couple of records that were really nice to get. Got Stephen Wilson's Porcupine Tree, their first album. Yeah, so that's really good to have. And that's On the Sunday of Life was their first album. And I also picked up Love's first album. So a lot of people out there know who these bands are, but this album here was first published in 1966. So this is going back a long way. And I was reading a story about the young man in here. He spent some time in and out of jail, and he's passed away now. But what a great band this is. If you can get a chance to listen to some really good psych music, you listen to Love, and you'll love it. Also, I want to talk today about Dave Stewart. And I'm not going to talk about Dave Stewart that was in the Eurythmics. This is the Dave Stewart that was in Hatfield in the North, National Health, Bruford, Arzachel, Egg, Con. Any of those bands sound familiar? Well, I'm going to try to put this all in perspective for you. Dave Stewart started off with Steve Hillage. Steve Hillage was in Gong, and he was also in Con with him. But they started in this band. And this is an Italian pressing that I picked up on eBay for a really good price. I decided that I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on stuff from eBay, from Goodwill and all those stuff like that. I got plenty of that stuff. And I use all that stuff to send out for VCLT. In the past week, I've sent out 4 packages for VCLT. So, and one of them was the big box, and the big box is gone. It's already on its way to the person who's going to get it this month. Now, we're going to be sending out 3 more big boxes in the coming 3 months before I get to 1 year in the vinyl community. That's in August. So I got a big box going out in June, 1 in July, and 1 in August. So May's big box is already gone, and it's on its way. So keep an eye on your porch and see if you're the person that gets the big box. So back to Arzachel. So Arzachel is a band with Steve Hillage, like I said, from Gong, and Dave Stewart. This is where they started, basically. And then they made this album. Now this album was supposed to be Arzachel too, supposed to be the second album, but they broke up, and then Dave Stewart and they went ahead and they made this album. Okay. Then after that, Dave Stewart and they were with Hatfield in the North. Let me move these CDs over a little bit. They made Hatfield in the North. They made this album. If you can find these, they're really good. Canterbury Prog. So you got Dave Stewart. He went and he did that album. And Hatfield in the North. I don't have this on vinyl. They made the Rotters Club. This is their second album. Okay? And this, some of you people out there will know who these bands are. I wanted to go ahead and this was getting, on my chest. I found the records and I wanted to go ahead and show you these. So this is Hatfield and North's second album. Okay. And then they had a band called Egg. Now, the three of them were in Egg. You had this album. Then you had The Polite Force. Then you had Civil Surface. Okay? So if you check this all stuff out, I think you're really going to really enjoy it. Okay. So then, after Egg and Con and Hatfield in the North, and then came National Health. This is the first album with Dave Stewart. Now, Steve Hillage is no longer with him. Steve Hillage was off doing his own solo stuff. I'm going to show you some of his records here in a minute. But if I was to go ahead and take off one day and go somewhere, I was going to be gone for a long time. I think if I was going to take a bunch of records, it would be all of these records right here. I'd put them all in a case. That's how important they are to me, and that's how I love these records so much. These 10 or 15, 20 records I'm going to show you. Okay, so National Health, this is their first album. All right, this is with Dave Stewart. And also in this band, he had Alan Gowan, Amanda Parsons, and Jimmy Hastings, and Pit Pyle. All those people were in National Health. Okay? Now, National Health, their second album was of Q's and Cures. This is their second album, National Health, the old gem import. Okay? Then after National Health, after those two albums, they did this one here posthumously after Gowan passed away. And there's D.S. Alcoda. So this album's pretty hard to find, but I found this one in Orlando before I left down there. But this is their third album, so that's National Health. Now they do have a bunch of CDs out that have like best ofs, and they take the two first albums, they put it together in a collection like that, stuff like that. And then Steve Hillage was also making records at the time. And he was also in the band called Gong. Okay, here I don't have Steve Hillage's first album. The first one's called Fish Rising, and I'm looking for that one. I think I almost picked it up on CD, but I'd rather have it on vinyl. Then Steve Hillage's second album, L. And then Steve Hillage's next album was Motivation Radio. This is a promo. And here's another Steve Hillage album, the Green Album. These are all psych progressive rock albums. All the ones that I'm showing you. And they have moments of jazz, like National Health and Hatfield in the North have a little jazz to them. So, and then Dave Stewart went on to play with a man, his name still is, Mr. William Bruford, Bill Bruford. Dave Stewart played keyboards with Bill Bruford in the band Bruford. This is their first album, Feels Good to Me. Also has Amanda Parsons on here, who she was with Hatfield in the North. National Health. Okay, following here. Everybody follow me. Got that little Don Henley in the background. Bruford, One of a Kind. His second album. Dave Stewart's on this album as well. Keyboardist. He started with their Satchel. Then he went to Hatfield in the North, and the Egg, and Con, National Health, and now he's with Bruford. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you where he ends up. You're going to bring this around full circle here. Gradually Going Tornado, Bruford's third album and final album. And then they got kicked to the curb. This would have been 1980, and by this time, prog music was done. And they had punk and all that other stuff. Okay, there's the Bruford tapes, the live concert. And we have Fainting in Coils, which is a really nice record. It's a promo. And then you got Bruford Master Strokes 78 to 85. More like the best of. Okay. Alrighty. Now, here is the live show, Rock Goes to College. Which if you look on YouTube now, they have one that's been cleaned up quite a bit. This is kind of dark and cloudy. It's not real clear video, but yeah, they have a better one out now that you can get. Okay, so then, and here's Master Strokes. I showed you. I have it on CD as well. Of course I do. Okay, then Dave Stewart played on the records, but not live, with Porcupine Tree. See how I brought that all back around? This is what he's been doing lately. He played keyboards and on this record here. And he was also on Steve Wilson's first album, Insurgentes. Insurgentes is named after a city, street in Mexico City. I have 2 copies of Insurgentes. I may have more, I'm not sure. Then you got Insurgentes, the remixes. He's on this as well. Then he's on Steven Wilson's second album, Grace from Drowning. Then he's on Steven Wilson's third album, The Raven That Refused to Sing and Other Stories. One of my top 5 prog albums of all time. And this album came out 10 years ago, 2013, roughly 10 years ago. And then Steven Wilson's fourth album, which I've seen them perform live. And this album is Hand Cannot Erase. And then Dave Stewart is on To the Bone. I've seen this concert live as well in Ponte Vedra, Florida. This album is To the Bone. And he was not on the latest Steven Wilson album, which was a complete turnaround, different type of record, more like XTC, more poppy. He was also on Storm Corrosion. This is with the Michael Ockerfeld. This is a great album from Opeth. So it's Michael Ockerfeld and Steven Wilson. He's from Opeth and Wilson, and then they made a collaboration album together. I had a chance to get this on vinyl and I blew it, and I didn't get it. Now it's $200-300. I got the CD though. And then he was also on this album, Anathema. I'm not sure why you say it, but this is a great band. If you get a chance, listen to some of their records. Where We All Belong, I believe is the name of the album. Great record. So, Dave Stewart, keyboardist, who started back in the 60s with our Zatchel, and then comes back around, and he's still today with Steven Wilson, putting out great music. Hopefully Steven Wilson's next solo album will be better than his last. Well, I'm not going to say better than his last. I'm going to say hopefully his next album will be back to the past, what he was doing previously. I like the record, his last album, but I prefer The Raven and Other Stories and those type of records. Now, also this week, I found I got these from eBay. It's John Anderson's Earth, Mother Earth. There's him with his wife, Janie, and Calling All Stations, Genesis. Their final album, without Phil Collins, with Ray Wilson. And I really like this album. There's some really good songs on here. It's a really tight band. and I didn't get to see them live when they went around. But if you get a chance, and you can pick this up for cheap, pick it up and give it a listen, because Ray Wilson does a stellar job. But I heard that Mike Rutherford pulled the plug on a second album, so there never was a second album. And then, of course, the rest of the story. This was the last album Genesis did. Phil Collins came back to Genesis and has toured now twice with them, but I'm pretty sure he's done now, considering his health. So, and that's all I got. That's all I got for this week. That kind of ties it all up, puts a bow on it. And so I hope you enjoyed my talk about the Dave Stewart and the many bands that he's been on and been with. And next week I'm going to be doing, I think Prog had started a thread where he showed his Moody Blues. So I'm going to pick up on that and run with it. So next week I'm going to go ahead and show my Moody Blues. And I want you to go ahead and don't forget to shout out the Utah Vinyl Connection. He's got a stellar show. And he put his first video up showing some records. And show them some love and ring the bell and sub them up, and that way you'll know when the Utah Vinyl Connection is going to be on. And also, don't forget the Old Goat, Stoner Stash Box. You got Dave, the pickup artist, and the Happy Hippie. You need to give those guys some love and show them some love, and sub them up today. Five channels. And you'll have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll be talking to you soon. And next week, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a deep dive on North Carolina Vinyl Pickers Moody Blues collection. I'm going to pull them all out. I got all my vinyl out, all my 45s, my videos, my DVDs, and I think I even have a VHS tape I'll show you. So that'll be next week. So stay tuned for that. We'll talk to you soon, and hopefully I'll get out there and hit the streets this week and find some stuff to show. It was kind of slim pickings this week, so I kind of put that Dave Stewart show together for y'all. So take care, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye for now.